Welcome to the Alabama Goes to College 25 to 26 Celebration Day event. We are so excited to celebrate all of our educators and community partners who support the Alabama students throughout the academic year. I am joined by many partners and educators who you'll be hearing from today. So let's get started. Start off by taking some time to thank our sponsors. Because of their support, we're able to provide trainings for free. We would also like to thank our partners from the Alabama Commission on Higher Education, the Alabama Community College System, the Alabama State Department of Education, and Get Educated, which is the Common Black College application. Some housekeeping notes. Please keep your microphone on mute at all times. Please disable any AI note takers unless accommodations are needed. Please let us know by sending us a message. This webinar will be recorded and posted to youtube.com/Alabama Possible within the next 2 days. Submit your questions in the chat and we'll answer them throughout and towards the end of the webinar. And we also value everyone's feedback, but it is especially important for high school educators seeking professional development credit to stay until the end and answer the final set of questions. You'll also be able to receive a t-shirt today. So this webinar is also eligible for one social work CE from the UA School of Social Work. And we will share the link towards the end of the webinar. And just a quick FYI about your Uber Eats vouchers, you'll be receiving them by the end of the day on Thursday, and we'll provide more details towards the end of the webinar. If you post your college-going efforts on social media, tag us at AL Goes to College, and don't forget to use the following hashtags. And I just want to give a quick shout out to all the educators who tagged us for their College and Career Decision Day post. It was so great to see all the ways that you celebrated your students. We do have a packed agenda this morning. So joining us for our year in review, we have Dr. Monica Mack, Education Specialist at the Alabama State Department of Education. We also have Corey Smalser, Director of Strategic Partnerships at Match. We will be honoring schools with the highest direct admissions participations and of course, our award winners for the 25 to 26 school year. But before we jump in, I would like to kick it off with an official welcome from Jamie Kenke. Jamie serves as the Managing Director of Partner Success at Match. So with you all, Jamie.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. As Ciamara mentioned, my name is Jamie Conkey. I lead the Match team, and the program that you may recall was the technology platform behind this year's Alabama Goes to College Direct Admissions Initiative. Now, our job has always been to connect students with college opportunities that they might not have found otherwise or realized were an option for them. And in Alabama, we've had the privilege of doing that work alongside Alabama Possible and alongside many of you. When this program launched last summer, Alabama Possible set an ambitious goal to serve about 5,000 students through direct admissions. You all got us to 20,000. Nearly half of the state seniors participated in year one of this program. And while we can sit here and say technology was a big unlock, actually, you all are the ones who held the real keys to the students. And so I am not blowing smoke when I say that the results that you hear about today are very much because of you. Now, I work with universities across the globe, and I can tell you firsthand, as you all probably know, the higher ed space right now is not easy. Institutions are navigating some very serious pressures. Families are weighing the costs of degrees more carefully. Students are asking harder questions about whether college is worth it, whether it's accessible, and whether it's for them. And Alabama, as you all know, has one of the lower college going rates in the country, and that is not for lack of potential. It is because for too many students, the path has not always been visible and the options have not always felt real. But I think we made it real this year. A student gets a direct admission offer and something really clicks. It stops being an abstract possibility, it becomes a concrete one. Someone looked at me, saw my potential, and they said yes. And I think that that matters in ways that are very difficult for us to overstate. So of course, the offer is only one part of this journey, but that's why the broader college access ecosystem in Alabama is so important. Organizations like Alabama Possible, the Birmingham Promise, you're doing the work of turning possibility into a plan. And you all know that access does not end when a student receives an offer. It continues when someone helps them understand what that offer means, how to pay for it, how to take the next step, and how to believe that they belong. Now, I would be remiss if I did not mention our colleagues on the other side of the desk. And I think our friends on the higher ed side would all agree that getting institutions to participate in the way that they did this year required a meaningful leap of trust. The college application is one of the most deeply rooted parts of higher education. And we asked colleges and universities, many with long histories of deeply established admissions practices, to extend admission and scholarship offers to students without an application. We gave them redacted academic records, directional student interests, and truly a picture of potential. And we asked them to trust the process. We asked them to evaluate potential earlier, to do it more proactively, and to do so with fewer barriers in the way. And they did. And that deserves recognition. But I want to say that the reason they had the confidence to do that is because of all of you. You were involved. They knew that counselors, career coaches, access organizations, and student advocates were not outside of this process. You were central to it. You were helping the students understand their options. You were helping the families ask the right questions. You were helping the institutions connect with these students in a way that finally felt more human, more informed, and more grounded in the realities that our students are actually facing. Now, I hope that you all already know how much influence you have with your students and their families, but what you may not fully appreciate is just how much influence you have with the institutions in this state. You know these students, their circumstances, their aspirations, their potential, and you know them in ways that no application can actually capture. The insights that you carry are the things that the universities want and need to hear. And I think for a long time, the assumption has been that the universities held most of the cards in this relationship. But what we're seeing across the country tells us that things are shifting. Institutions are working harder to meet students where they are, to make themselves accessible, and to rethink what the process looks like from the student side. And they are counting on help from you in order to do that well. So please understand that this shift didn't happen overnight. It happens because people like you keep pushing the system closer to students. You are the advocates for the students. You are the connective tissue between aspiration and action. You are the reason that this ecosystem is changing. And what we accomplished together in Alabama this year is proof of that. Now, in a few minutes, you're going to hear from my colleague, Corey, who's going to walk you through what we built together this year in more detail. And I think you're going to like what you hear. But I will end with this. If year one looked like this, I cannot wait to see what year two looks like. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you, Jamie. We would also like to give the spotlight to students who connected with us in one way or another. And with the assistance of you all, the educators and partners on this call made their future career journeys possible. So,
Hello, my name is Jaquana January, and I am a senior at Amelia Love Johnson. Through Alabama Goes to College, I had the chance to apply to at least 10 colleges for free. I applied to Tuskegee University, Auburn University at Montgomery, and Wallace Community College in Selma. I look forward to majoring in political science.
Hello, my name is Kamora King, and I'm a senior at Miller Jensen High School. Through Alabama Goes to College, I had the chance to apply to many colleges for free. I applied to University of West Alabama, University of South Alabama, Jacksonville, Stillman College, and even Troy University. And I look forward to majoring in child psychology.
Hi, my name is Brinley George, and I'm a senior at Albertville High School. Through Alabama Goes to College, I had the chance to apply to 3 colleges for free. I applied to the University of South Alabama, Auburn University, and Samford University during Alabama College Application Week. I look forward to continuing my education at the University of South Alabama.
London Basin Academy, and during college application week, I applied to JSU and SNE, and my plans after high school are to become an elementary education major.
Hi, my name is Jordan Bolding. I'm a senior at Albertville Innovation Academy. I applied to Snead State Community College. I would like to pursue the additive manufacturing program at a community college and then go to a 4-year college to pursue mechanical engineering.
Hello, my name is Frank, and I am a senior at Albertville High School. Through Alabama Goes to College, I had the chance to apply to one college for free. I applied to Gadsden State during Alabama College application week. I look forward to my future.
Hello, my name is Samaria D, and I'm a senior at Magic City Acceptance Academy in Birmingham. And through Alabama Goes to College, I've had the chance to create a match profile, and I've received offers from 22 schools and out of the state of Alabama. And I've received a total combination of $655,000 in total scholarships. I was really confused at first because it's such an easy process. All you have to do is make the profile, and then you wait for the colleges to reach out to you, and you check, and then it's just a bunch of schools, and they send you scholarships, they like send you information, different things about the colleges. And yeah, it was really exciting to see how many offers I got, and I'm hoping to study psychology when I go to college.
Wanted to say how Alabama Possible was a great help with me in my 12th grade year, transitioning to freshman year in college. Miss May, that was at the help desk, she answered all of my questions at any time of the night, any time of the day, about financial aid, about just getting everything ready for my college experience. And that was so great, and I am so thankful to Alabama Possible for everything they have done.
Hello, my name is Anthony Crosby. In the fall, I will be attending Coastal Alabama Community College, and I just recently graduated from Faith Academy, located in Mobile, Alabama. How the program has helped me is they've helped me match schools and scholarship, and have also helped me match with my selected career. Before I was exposed to this program, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to pursue or what career I wanted to be in. But after critical thought and help from Alabama Possible and Miss Chandra Scott, I have decided that I want to pursue airframe technology while at Coastal Alabama Community College. So how I found out about the Alabama Possible program was through the Education for Life program. One night, Miss Chandra Scott came in and gave a presentation. After the presentation was over, me, my mother, and her had a conversation, and we talked about it. And ever since then, she has been very instrumental in helping me match with scholarships and helping me choose my career field. And I want to say thank you to Miss Scott for all your hard work and all that you've done. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
This is so awesome. It really takes a village to support students. So thank you to everyone for all you do to support the students. Before we begin our awards and honors, let's see some highlights and milestones of this academic year. The Alabama Goes to College campaign this year added a fourth component to the campaign. This year we launched the Alabama Direct Admissions Initiative, and the initiative aims to reduce barriers by connecting students with real admission offers from participating colleges by creating one simple, free profile. So that means no applications or essays required. The other components include Cash for College, and the goal is for every graduating senior to complete the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid before they graduate from high school, so that they can access federal, state, and institutional aid to pay for their education after high school. So you'll hear from our award winners for the highest FAFSA completions after schools later on today. The other component also includes the Alabama College Application Week, which is part of the national effort designed to help high school seniors, especially first generation and low income students, navigate the college application process and apply for at least one post-secondary institution. And then we also have the College and Career Decision Day, which celebrates students committing to pursue their education, credentials, and pursue a skilled trade or join the military after high school. Every year, we strive to continue to increase the number of schools we reach. This year, we had 384 schools register for the Alabama Goes to College campaign in all 67 counties in Alabama, an increase from 382 from last year. With more schools joining the campaign, we reached about 51,316 high school seniors in the state. We also had the opportunity to provide 17 professional development trainings, which including adding a beginner and advanced levels for our FAFSA trainings. And we also had 6 community conversations led by this year's wonderful Educator Advisory Council, which I see some on the call today. Next slide. A big thank you for promoting our help desk line. This year we had a combination of 165 phone calls, text messages, and/or emails that we responded to this year. Also, a special thanks to our 7 educator advisory councils who not only led engaging conversations, but met with us 6 times during the academic year to provide us with insights within their schools and districts and to support and give input for the Alabama Goes to College campaign. We have our 7 EAC members for the 25 to 26. So from Region 1, we have Jordan Phillips. From Region 2, we have Ann Smith. From Region 3, we had Camille White. From Region 4, we have Steph McConchie. Region 5, Marla Scott. Region 6, Allison Hall Beckett. And in Region 7, Tara Price. So help me drop an emoji to show a huge appreciation to our EAC members for all their contributions this year. And educators, just a quick heads up, the applications for the Educator Advisory Council for the 26 to 27 school year is now open. So I think May will drop the link in the chat so that you can read more about it, and we'll provide more information towards the end of the webinar. So now I'll hand it over to May to give us some more of the Cash for College highlights for the year.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's great to be here with you celebrating. My name is May Whiting, and I am the Data and Research Director here at Alabama Possible. So I'm going to dive into our Cash for College initiative. So everything financial aid and everything FAFSA. Our goal with this campaign component, of course, is to ensure that graduating seniors are completing their FAFSA before they graduate so that they have access to federal, state, and institutional aid. And what we've noticed is as the FAFSA form improves year after year, it seems like folks are having a more seamless experience. So we hope that's been the case for y'all this year. We did hear a lot of positive feedback. So we hope that with every iteration of the application, you're having an easier time supporting your students with this task. And we are excited to share that there are even more improvements happening to the form on the horizon. So I anticipate that this upcoming FAFSA cycle will be even better than the last. Given all that, we know that even with the improvements to the form, that truly educators and the community partners that work with seniors are the key component to their success. So thank you so much to everyone for arranging workshops, for scheduling one-on-one appointments, and for really calling and reaching out to families to make sure seniors are able to do their FAFSA. And then I also want to say thanks for those of you that reached out to our help desk or sent a family to our help desk. It really is an honor for us to be a very small part of supporting your families with the financial aid process. So as you see on the screen here, by the end of April or the beginning of May, 50.8% of seniors had completed their free application for federal student aid, and they leveraged $81.95 million in Pell Grant aid. So as y'all know, Pell Grant aid is really significant in our state since most of our high school seniors qualify for either full or partial grant aid. That award can often cover the entirety of tuition and fees at a community college. And so we're really excited that as Pell has continued to expand through federal legislation, that we're seeing an increase not only in the number of students who are receiving Pell aid, but an increase also in the average award that they're receiving. So we're happy to see thousands of Alabama seniors accessing this aid every year. We'll go to the next slide. And now we are very thrilled to announce that Alabama is currently ranked 10th in the nation for FAFSA completion. We've been climbing in the rankings over the last several weeks, and we've been super encouraged to see such a strong final push in this last month. So congrats to all the educators on the call that made this happen. Y'all made this possible. We are also ranked 10th in the nation for year-over-year increase. So that means the class of 2026 saw a 15.1% increase in FAFSA completion compared to the class of 2025. So again, well done, 2 top 10s in the nation. That's absolutely phenomenal. You can find more details on these rankings through the National College Attainment Network's FAFSA tracker. I'm going to drop a link to that in the chat. But we're excited to talk to our award winners in a few moments. I'm now going to turn it over to Dr. Mack to talk a little bit about our other campaign component.
Good morning. I am Monica Mack, and I am one of the counseling and guidance specialists here with the Department of Education, and I also coordinate our college application campaign. So with our data that we collected from our fall and spring campaigns, we had a total of 62 colleges and universities to waive their application fees. And we also had, based on our public school and private school data that we received, 415 schools participated in this event. High school seniors that participated, we had 35,174, and this does include our public and private schools, and a total of 95,404 college applications submitted. So this is a combined report with what we received based on the data that you all submitted through the survey for College Application Week, and then data we also received from the match program. 61 schools in the state had 100% of their seniors to complete a college application, which is awesome. That number is up from last year. And then this is a list of the schools that participated in our college application campaign. We had in-state and out-of-state colleges to participate this year. So our next campaign is scheduled for October 5th through 9th. So be on the lookout for additional details regarding the next campaign. And then we just have some pictures from a couple of the schools that participated in this event.
Thank you, Dr. Mack. And once again, we would like to thank everyone who tagged us on their College and Career Decision Day social media post and participated in our raffle. So huge congratulations to Carrie Ashley at Sylvania High School, who was our College and Career Decision Day raffle winner this year. And now I would like to hand it over to Corey Smalser and Anando Bandry to give you the highlights and honorees for the year on direct admissions.
Hi, everybody. Corey Smalzer here. Maybe you've seen me before and some of the trainings in the past or some of the webinars we've hosted. But before I dive into like the data that you see here on the screen, I would be remiss not to like thank each and every one of you. Obviously, this was year one. We had a ton of learnings as well as a lot of impact that happened across the board. And that doesn't, like my colleague Jamie said, like that doesn't happen without any of you. And the profound like impact that you all have had like on your students by just creating awareness about this opportunity for them is truly life-changing. And we've heard it, from your students, from you all. And again, I just want to say thank you. You've changed not only your students' lives, but also like as a company, as like a provider and like what we do, you have truly molded like even a business like in that regard. So again, I just want you all to know like the impact that you've had and like the trickle effects of that. And I feel so honored to get to like brag about all of you across this country, and the amount of like support that you provide at a state level is truly unmatched. Like I have not seen anything like it. And the level of coordination too. So like huge shout outs to Alabama Possible, Dr. Mack and her team, as well as all the other, co-collaborators in this. It came together so quickly. And again, I can't wait to see what year 2 looks like with even more time and like dedicated attention to pieces to refinement of this. But yeah, again, I just feeling like so thankful and grateful to be part of this, and that you all trusted, Alabama Possible and like putting this together for the state with all of our collaborators and involving us. So forever grateful for that. And so I want to dive into some of the things that we saw high level, like over year 1, some of the impact and highlights. So I'm going to start with a quote actually from one of our colleges and universities so that you all can see the change that, Jamie, my colleague, mentioned before previously. Like, we're seeing this happen in real time with these colleges when they come onto this program, speaking with them directly about it. And so this was a quote from Audrey Crawford, and she was the executive director of admissions at the University of Montevallo. And she said, ultimately, we talk about access and opportunity, and it's easy to say that we are going to do those things. When it comes to having a partnership that makes good on that promise, we have to be willing to try things differently in higher education. This was the opportunity for us to do just that. So I thought Audrey said it great, and I wanted to share that with you all because, again, like, there's so many ways that you can create access and opportunities for students, but this was a moment to really show, like, we're going to put, like, action behind those words at the institutional level. And again, I'm so honored to get to present this to you all, but we had nearly 20,000 seniors who rose their hand, said, I would like to participate in this process in year one. And again, that's phenomenal. Like, that level of participation in a year one program like this, again, unmatched. You don't really see that significantly across this country in programs like this. We did have 39 colleges and universities who participated, and then we were able to reach over 500 high schools, both public and private, across the state. So nearly had some level of representation at a vast majority, if not all, of the schools across the country or across the state. Some of the other things that I wanted to provide for you all, just insights on feedback from students directly. Nearly 50% of students who received opportunities through this program had intent to deposit or enroll at one of those institutions that they got an offer from. Now, mind you, this actually data was back from like February and March. So we're starting to slowly see more and more information and data back from our colleges. And so I'm excited to be able to share that with you all in the fall, like the true impact that had in terms of deposit and enrollment behavior of your students from this initiative. But one of the things we also wanted to share, we did ask students, like, of the offers that they received and the ones that they had intent to move forward with, was that the first time that they had learned about that institution? And 52% said yes, that was the first time that they had considered that institution and learned about that opportunity. So that was a huge, I think, aha moment for us, like, we have a due diligence to help students see more opportunities across the state around colleges and universities that they may not be thinking of. That is an option for them. So wanted to share that with you all. And then we can actually jump to the next slide, because I do go over kind of the offers and scholarships to date, which, again, mind-blowing, fantastic. For the students who participated, we were able to support them in receiving over 220,000 offers of admission. And that was from over 100 universities across the country. So not only were there 39 colleges and universities in state, but if students were interested in out-of-state opportunities, they had the option to receive those too at a later date. And again, so that was 100 colleges and universities that they were able to access because of that program. And through those offers and opportunities, they had the potential to receive $7.2 billion in scholarship. That's calculated across all 4 years, but that's still, even if you put it at a year one level, that's over $1 billion in scholarship, right? So again, life-changing moments. And I wanted to share one of the student quotes with you all, because again, at the center of everything, and I think we can all agree, is like the students are first in this process and first and foremost. And this is one of the most, I think, impactful like quotes, information we received from a student that we wanted to share out with you all. And that was a student who said, I wasn't expecting to go to college until I started receiving offers through the portal. I was already in the process of earning certification as a nursing student or nursing assistant. But now with the scholarship and admission offers, I plan to enroll in a 4-year college. I thought I was going to get a regular CNA license. That's it. And I was going to be a CNA for the rest of my life. I didn't really have any hope.
Yes, ma'am.
Any hope for going to college. until I received the matches and the scholarships. That quote honestly was, again, so profound for us because that student did not believe they could go to college until they had this opportunity. So again, like thank you all for allowing us to like be part of your students' lives in that way. It is so like humbling and so just exciting to see those types of college going culture kind of movements happening across the state for your students and for you all. Because again, these opportunities are real. They're there if students want them. And again, we're going to continue to work hard on how to make this easier and, more smooth for students in year 2. I did include, if you want to go to the next slide, there's a couple other quotes that I just wanted to share out. You all can see here, like we had, not only impact on the students overall, but like impact for you as counselors, as educators, how things look differently for you in terms of like very different in kind conversations you could have across the school with your students. But again, also with the universities as well. So I'll just share one of these quotes, and it's the one at the top because I do, again, think that a lot of the biggest change overall that's happening too is for colleges and universities. And so it's exciting to hear their feedback and what they're thinking and what they're planning to do differently as well. And so one of our VPs from Faulkner University shared with us, like, this is exciting. One of our admission counselors this morning, on the road, expressed how well this is working. Direct admitted students are initiating conversations at college fairs, which that can be daunting for students to go up to a table and ask for information without the clarity on if they're admissible to that institution. So like flipping the script on that kind of conversation between a college and a student at a college fair is huge, not just for the student, but also for the university. So again, I just wanted to share all of this with you all because this is the type of impact things like this can have on a community. And again, we're just so thankful to be part of it. So thank you for allowing me time to talk about the highlights in year 1 and so excited for year 2. I look forward to potentially meeting some of you. I know I've had some conversations, met with you all personally, so please keep that coming. We love to hear back from you directly. And again, you help mold what this is for your state too. So thank you all.
Next slide, please. Thank you so much for that overview, Corey. Good morning, everybody. My name is Anando Banerjee with Alabama Possible. It has been an exciting pilot year for this initiative. We'd like to take this time to thank Governor Ivey for launching the initiative with her press conference on July 31st of last year. We are thrilled to honor 8 schools for their efforts in connecting students to direct admission opportunities. Next slide, please. On the screen, you can see the schools with the highest rates of participation in the Alabama Direct Admission Initiative. That means that these schools had the greatest percentage of their senior class creating a profile on the Match platform and receiving 1 or more admission offers from participating colleges. Most of the schools receiving this honor had a 100% participation rate at the time of calculation, which was through the end of this past April. As you can see, we disaggregate high schools by the size of their senior class. We had a 3-way tie in the extra small category, a 2-way tie in the medium category, and it is with great pleasure that I share with you the names of our honorees, along with the total number of offers and total amount of potential scholarship offered to their class of 2026 through direct admissions. I'm not going to read the whole scholarship numbers because I will fumble, so I'll just round to the nearest millions. So starting with extra small, Jefferson County IB School with 1,428 offers and 48 million plus potential scholarship dollars. Then Mackenzie High School with 480 offers and 12 million plus potential scholarship dollars. University Charter School with 580 offers and 18 million plus scholarship dollars. Moving on to our small category, CF Vigor High School with 1,904 offers and 51 million plus scholarship dollars. Moving to our medium category, Ben C. Rain High School with 1,706 offers and 45 million plus scholarship dollars. And then John L. LaFleur Magnet School with 1,987 offers and 50 million plus scholarship dollars. Moving to our large category, our honoree is WP Davidson High School with 4,223 offers and 120 million plus scholarship dollars. And finally, for our extra large category, we have Mary G. Montgomery High School with 6,361 offers and 208 plus million dollars of scholarship offers. We're all digital, but I would take this time to just applaud all of our honorees. Congratulations for all that great work. It is important to note that this slide is only a snapshot in time, so graduates at these schools might have accumulated even more offers and potential scholarship dollars since our calculations in April. We'd also like to highlight that Ben C. Rain High School had a 65% interest rate, meaning that the students were highly interested in most of their matches, which is much higher than other schools. We also want to give a special shout out to Mobile County Public Schools, which has 5 schools represented on our list of honorees. We are extremely impressed by the way educators in your district engage with this initiative. Congratulations to all of our educators across the states who have supported students with the Alabama Direct Admissions Initiative. Really off to a great pilot year, and we're looking to just keep on growing into our second year.
Thank you. Congratulations to everyone. So now I'd like to hand it over to Lisa King, Senior Director of the American College Application Campaign for ACT, to present the Award of Excellence.
Thank you, Xiomara. And that was just so wonderful. I mean, congrats, Anando, Corey, the team behind that. Before I kind of really dive in, if you want to go to the next slide, I wanted to share a little bit about the national movement that is ACAC. I mean, you all have been a strong state campaign from early on, but I just want to kind of remind folks, if maybe you aren't familiar with the national campaign, that I get to work with folks like Dr. Mack and Xiomara and May across the country who are sitting within their state agencies, like you have here with Alabama PASPA and the Department of Ed, that are leading these works and in their states. So we have 47 states in DC that are actively engaged with our national efforts. But you all are doing this hard work of the professional development for the counselors and helping the high schools really do these events to get our students to college. And so I just want to take a minute to applaud the team that's put together today's celebration and being just such a committed partner to ACAC over the years and for inviting me here. It's really exciting to be able to join you virtually. And I know we actually just recently, in one of our network calls, shared how this event is put together virtually, because I think other states really should model this. It's a great way when your state is geographically large and it's hard to get somewhere to really take a moment and pause and celebrate the work of our schools and what we're doing and come together. So if you go to that next slide, the other thing with ACAC that has evolved over the years, we traditionally started in supporting that senior year college application efforts of seeing college application days or weeks, and some states have months. But we really have grown to have these 3 programs that we're guiding our states and schools through. So we just this year launched a college match day initiative for junior year. It's similar where it's meant to be during the school day, helping juniors do that research and building their list of where they'll apply so that when they show up senior year, they're more prepared and ready. And then we also have a social media campaign with promoting the importance of applying and helping people share why they apply to college or why they want the young people in their life to apply to college. And so one thing we've really seen over the last years grow are these direct admission programs, and they're really bringing such great success. And so it's really, I'm glad I got to see and hear the numbers of what happened just in year 1. I know there's some states already asking Monica to get connected and Xiomara to see how you all did it, because it's such great numbers for just launching things. So I just wish you all the best, because it's a good reminder of why we're here doing this work for students. Next slide, it should be my data. So you are a part of this larger national piece here. There were 9,900 high schools across the country, 1.9 million students that were doing applications, and they were able to submit 2.6 million applications. And so our events, as Xiomara, I believe, or maybe it was Monica during your remarks, shared, we're focused on finding students who think college isn't for them. They might be the first in their family. They don't typically have the support system outside of school. And so this may be their first application. So we usually see students doing an average of 1 or 2 applications during these events, and we hope it kickstarts them and motivates them to realize that they have the tools and know how to do the application and hopefully apply for more outside of their events when they can. And if you want to go to the next slide, one of the things that we now have done for 6 years now are the School of Excellence Awards. So we've been around as a national campaign since 2014 in those 47 states in DC. And we wanted to have a chance to really start to highlight high schools that were embodying this work of creating a college going culture, helping all their seniors apply to college, and really seeing some tremendous growth. So if you want to go to the next slide here. I think it just outlines really, when we started it, and we encourage every state campaign to select one winner each year. They work with us on who that nominee is, and then we had 26 states this year ultimately decide to do an award. We send them a plaque and a goodie if we're not able to be there in person. And so if you want to go to our next slide, I think we have that. We don't have it yet, but as I mentioned before, it's to really just highlight that amazing work of how they're serving the students and making sure those seniors get those applications submitted, making sure data is submitted to your state campaign so that we can also talk about the good work that's happening and just raise the awareness of this entire senior year, college going process of, they can't go to college if they don't apply. We need them doing also the FAFSA, and we want to celebrate them with the signing day. And so this is a critical step in that senior year to make sure those applications are submitted. And so I want to congratulate Pell City High School for being the 2025 School of Excellence winner here in Alabama. Congratulations. They had some wonderful photos that I saw really of how exciting that atmosphere is for the students of Pell City. And so I am going to hand it, I believe, over. Is it May to you, or do we have a video, I think, to play right after this to see kind of how it looked in their school?
We are the counselors from Pell City High School. I'm Jacqueline Gaines.
AJ McCullers.
And Brittany Gibson. We'd like to share with you our theme from last year from our College App Week, which our theme was PCHS College Game Day for College App Week. So we try to create an engaging and exciting and inviting environment as the kids come into the school building each day to encourage our seniors to take the next step to their future goals. So we transform the front entrance of our school with college-themed decorations, student celebrations, and swag donated by local businesses. This display is one of the first things that the students, parents, and visitors see when they walk through the doors, helping build excitement and anticipation, not only for our seniors, but for the underclassmen as well.
So we ask for donations and support from different community partners to provide food, snacks, swag. We give different door prizes to students who are the first ones that apply for that week. We also give prizes for person that applies to the most colleges, just any way that we can celebrate them applying and get people interested in making this a big event for our students and other students to kind of look forward to.
Students get excited because the focus is on them and it's something fun to celebrate. One of the most meaningful traditions that we have is that our elementary teachers get to write letters of encouragement to our seniors. And it's reminding them that the community is supporting them and encouragement to our seniors. College Application Week is a wonderful opportunity to support our seniors, strengthen our community involvement, and to celebrate education success with everyone together. So later in the presentation, we've included a lot of pictures just from this year's events, and we'll have a video.
Yes.
That you'll be able to see to kind of see the setup. And honestly, guys, one of the biggest things is from the underclassmen, they get excited and it instills in them ideas of what they want their college app week to be next year. So in which our juniors have already done that. And we'll keep that as an element of surprise until next year for them. But just reaching out to the community for support, businesses, churches, anybody you can think of that have any connection to any of our seniors always makes the week go a lot smoother and they feel supported.
So this is the letter that we send out to our community members for any form of donations that they can contribute. And then this was actually a Facebook post of Miss Gaines with her big check that we incorporated in the
Pat McAfee kick, but it didn't go as well as planned. We had blow up goal. So if we ever do this again, we'd definitely go to the football field and make sure we do it more realistic, I guess. So, we learn a lot. And one of the things that we learned from my very first year when we really stepped this up 4 years ago, we tried to change the theme every single day for all 5 days. And that was just overwhelming. So we stick to one theme for the whole week, and that's worked well for our school.
And so last year, our theme was friends. So we had the Friends couch. We had anything friends that we could think of, our shirts for counselors.
And the kids loved it.
They did.
And we give away little trinkets and things every day.
Yes.
And they want to keep coming down.
Yeah. And this was kind of our one of the shirts that we couldn't really pick a college because we don't all go for the same team. So we just went with the Animal House college shirt, just to kind of represent that.
And one day we try to be obvious in what we wear so they recognize us all as counselors and helping. Even though only 3 of us presented today, there's 5 of us that really work hard on this project for the whole week. But like Home Depot this year was one of our sponsors. So they provided us all with Home Depot t-shirts, the buckets, the little swag, tool.
Here's our little aprons that we
Yeah,
forgot
tool
to wear,
aprons.
which came in handy for pins and all other things.
So it's just whoever the sponsors are, we want to represent them for what they're doing for our school. So we just change it up as the day goes on. But we'd love for you guys to just reach out to us if, we'd be happy to share any ideas. And I'm going to kind of be the lead person on if you have ideas to send to me, just so it keeps it kind of mainstream to the same person. But we're open to sharing all of our ideas that have worked and, anything that hasn't worked, if that will help as well.
But congratulations again to Pell City, and we will give it back to Lisa to share the rest of
I
next
just
year.
have a few closing things just to help keep you engaged with our national work. So when the slides do come back up, I wanted to make sure you knew the date for our Social Media Why Apply Day this September 18th, 2026. So we would encourage all of you to get on your social channels that you may have for your schools or just yourself and share that inspiring message for why students should apply to college and keep the kind of focus and celebration on them for the day. And I think if you go to the next slide, it'll show just some of the resources we have. Your Alabama team does a great job already with so many resources that you provided, but you can find like a template of the signs that we have and graphics to help you. And maybe I left that slide out, but there are resources on our website that you can grab if you want to download those. And next slide. Yeah, this gets you to, again, your state's wonderful, but we do have our own national registration form if you need to come through us, and then we send schools to their state coordinator. So if you happen to be at an event or fill out this form, we will get your name to Dr. Mack and Xiomara to make sure that they know that you're going to participate again in the fall. And then this last one should just be our newsletter. So if you just want to see more of what's happening at the national level, what other states are doing, subscribe to our newsletter, follow us on social media, and you can start to get other ideas to borrow from states and what's working with their students. So thank you for the opportunity today. I really enjoyed being part of this celebration.
Thank you, Lisa. We greatly appreciate it. Manisha, if possible, could you click the green button to full screen the slide? Do that. We're going to transition over into our Cash for College awards. So first, that's perfect, Manisha. Thank you. First, we have our most improved winners. So these are our schools that saw the greatest year-over-year improvement in FAFSA completion for their respective size category. So we would like to recognize the most improved award winners. For extra small schools, it was Susan Moore High School. For our small schools, it was Beulah High School. For our medium-sized schools, it was Jemison High School in Chilton County. For our large schools, it was McAdory High School. And for our extra large schools, it was Alabama Connections Academy. So congratulations to all of these schools for your achievements and this huge increase that you saw for your class of 2026. Next, we will move on to our MVP winners. So these are our schools that had the highest FAFSA completion rate for their respective size category. We are pleased to recognize Mackenzie High School as our extra small MVP, Satsuma High School as our small school MVP, Fort Payne High School as our medium school MVP, Hewitt-Trussville High School as our large school MVP, and Fairhope High School as our extra large MVP. So educators at these schools will be sharing some of the strategies that led to this great success. And they were also asked to respond to a specific prompt in their presentation. So we hope that you will take what they share and use some of it in your FAFSA completion efforts next year. But I will now turn it over to our first MVP winner for extra small schools, Mackenzie High School in Butler County. All yours.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, you're great.
Okay. I am Denise Diller, school counselor at Mackenzie School, which is a K-12 school. My main goal to ensure every student and family felt supported, informed, and capable of completing the FAFSA when applying to college was I had an awesome team that came in to help the students to set up their paths, to do their part. The team came back that day also, and we had a parent meeting. So communication was sent out, flexibility, making sure that parents are able to attend, relationship building, and just having the students to be confident with doing their part. My team consisted of the 2 career coaches, the senior sponsors, myself. I used the extension office in Butler County, which Ms. Charlene Briggs came to help with that, and also Ms. Jamie Couch. Students viewed a PowerPoint explaining the steps for them to go through, which Ms. Charlene Briggs and Ms. Jamie Couch were the ones that presented it to them. They gave them the required information. We talked about important deadline dates. We were really trying to meet the December 1st deadline date. Like I stated earlier, a parent meeting was held the same day to provide the support and answer questions, so that way both the students and the parents knew the process. Students and families were informed about the Alabama FAFSA graduation requirement. That was most important, that I needed for my seniors and my parents to know that this was a graduation requirement. Even though they could have done the waiver, that was just not something that I wanted them to do. Okay, next slide. Some of the methods that I use, especially after the first rollout, and if a parent had not completed their part, but I was able to see that the student did, was then I started calling parents. A student announcement, one-on-one conversation with the parents, so that they would know that an invite was sent to them, and now I needed them to do their part. I wanted them to know that the FAFSA was not just about loans, but especially if they were doing scholarships. I know some schools, some colleges required that they did complete their part of the FAFSA. You're also looking at grants, the Pell Grant, work study opportunity, and this is another way to help them to pay for college. Students encouraging students to believe college is possible. Higher rate of FAFSA completion among graduating seniors. I wanted that parent engagement, stronger partnership and communication with students' families, and the college readiness, improved students' confidence in pursuing post-secondary education. My final thoughts. I did not have any problems as far as accessibility, communication, EL. None of those issues really were a problem here with me at Mackenzie School. During free college application week, during that week, I had different colleges to come in. It's recommended in Butler County that students apply to a 2-year school and 4-year schools as well. So 2 of the community colleges in my area is LBW, Lurleen B. Wallace Community College, and Reed State. So I made sure that someone would come in and talk to the students as far as what their school have to offer to them. And then the students had to apply to those schools, whether they were going or they were not going. I just let them know that this was something that Butler County Central Office wanted them to do. My closing statement is every student deserves support, encouragement, and access to opportunities beyond high school. Thank you all. I really appreciate this from the team. Thank you so much.
And thank you. It's really clear that you set an expectation for your students and then did everything possible to support them. So thank you for sharing. I would now like to recognize our small school MVP, Satsuma High School from Satsuma City Schools. All yours.
My name is Lee J, and I am the career coach here at Satsuma City Schools. I work closely with our senior guidance counselor, Miss Jessica Coleman, to complete all the activities that I'm going to be talking about in this presentation. Our question was, how do you celebrate small wins and milestones with your students throughout the year? So my presentation, I'm covering kind of all of the things that we did, not just for FAFSA, but for the whole college application, free college application week, all of those activities. I have to start off by saying this year we actually created a college and career center. It's something that we put together last summer, and it has been really a great thing for us. We have a place where we can bring the students when we meet with them. We're a 7 through 12 school, so we bring all grade levels in there to meet with them, and they know when they come in there that they're going to be talking about careers or schools, and it also serves as a place for us when we're able to follow up. And I'll be in the room or our senior counselor so that they can come and finish up applications during elective periods or lunch or break. And then it's also a place where we can have our college recruiters, military, businesses come and present in there, and they also set up there during lunch. Our room is in close proximity to the lunchroom, so students, when they're done with lunch, they're able to kind of slide in there and meet with those people. So I think this was one of the keys, is having a real place so that, the students could be there and also know that when they come in there, that's what we're going to be working on is their future. We did participate in match. We actually did it the day before the applications were due. And in my opinion, I felt like it was a very simple process. And one of the things, and I know other people have said it in this presentation, but I'll re-emphasize, is that I really think that when the students got their emails containing their matches and also containing scholarship offers, it really opened their eyes. I love that their matches came in on the Monday of free college application week, because I think it really pushed the students to apply, where instead of me forcing them or, saying, hey, you need to apply here, or you need to do at least one, or you need to do one so you can get a prize. I think they had that natural encouragement because they thought, okay, here's a school that wants me. And not only do they want me, they want to give me money. So I just think the timing of it was great. But in that one class period, we were able to go in and complete the FAFSA pen. And then complete the match application. And then, of course, the students were able to get their offers in, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks. During our free college application week, we had teachers hang signs on their classrooms featuring their college alma mater. We had students and teachers wear college shirts on Monday. In fact, the whole school did, not just seniors. Our Gator News actually featured a segment in which a few of the teachers discussed their college journey. Students came to the College and Career Center on that Monday, senior students, during their English classes. And during that class period, they applied to any colleges that they didn't receive a match on. And we encouraged students to apply to as many as they could. All right, next slide. For every college that they applied for, students were able to enter into a drawing. We had local businesses that donated like some gift cards to coffee, loaded tea places, some little gift cards like that. And we selected 4 winners each afternoon. So the more that you applied, the more that you could be in that. We also let them submit their names once they could show that they had completed their FAFSA PN also. So they were able to put in for that. Students participated in the scavenger hunt that the Alabama Possible materials included. I tweaked it just slightly so that it would be able to get a signature from every or from several teachers here on campus, but the students really enjoyed that. We gave the first 3 that completed their scavenger hunt the little gift card prizes, but I do think that was a lot of fun, and it really helped them be able to reach out to their teachers and find out a little bit about their teacher's journey through college. Students signed a poster that we hung outside of our College and Career Center. And then at the end of the class period on Monday, I do have like a little prize box, and every time that we bring them in there for any activity, once they complete it, we let them choose. And it's just the little trinkets that we've collected from all of the fairs. It's really nothing, but the kids really do enjoy picking out their little prize. As far as FAFSA completion, on November the 3rd, our senior English classes came to the College and Career Center to complete their portion. We did have financial aid representatives. We actually had 2 from Bishop State, which is a junior college in our area. And of course, I was there, and then our senior counselor. The next day, we hosted our first FAFSA Parent Day, and we basically had it from 7 to 4. We did have Jamie Crouch from Alabama Extension. She came and helped us, and we hosted 2 additional FAFSA parent helps. We did 2 days. And then one evening, we had assistance from financial aid reps from the University of Mobile and also Spring Hill College. Those are both private colleges here in the Mobile area. And I will say we were blessed in that we had a lot of people reach out to us and ask us how they could help us. One of the things that we did not do is we did not offer the waiver option until April. We kept encouraging the students, and even though I didn't include it in the slide, I will reiterate what was said in the last presentation. We did have a parent meeting at the beginning, and we did talk to the parents about why it's so important to the parents and the students, and let them know that there would be an option available, but we waited until the end of the school year to really present the waivers as options. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. And I also just want to point out and shout out both of our first 2 schools mentioned partnering with Jamie Crouch, who was formerly an educator in a school system and a former member of our Educator Advisory Council. So it's awesome to see her go on and be an external partner to these schools. Congratulations again for y'all's award. I now would like to welcome Fort Payne High School, our MVP for medium-sized schools out of Fort Payne City Schools.
Hello, my name is Lee Freeman. I am the career coach for Fort Payne City Schools. So within my system, I have 2 high schools. This year we had 243 seniors, and I am the only career coach for our system. So I hope with sharing some of my ideas with the other career coaches, it will give you encouragement that you can do this too. So some of my success strategies that I'd like to share is the importance of partnering with your senior counselor, creating a team there. Also, I'll share a little bit about how we approach our senior guidance sessions. And then my community partners being my local college, community colleges, and then also my parents, how I partner with them. And my thoughts on students want instant gratification. That's basically how I approach the FAFSA. So this is my teammate, Amanda Varnador. She is our senior counselor at Fort Payne High School, and we make such a great team. She and I work together a whole lot at the beginning of the year. Basically, we use September as our prep month. We do senior guidance sessions with all of our seniors. We basically bring a couple of homerooms into our library. We'll do 3 different days of sessions, and we'll say, okay, if you have Miss Varnador's homeroom, you come on Monday during first block. We're on a block schedule at my school. So we combine the homerooms. We talk to them about, of course, going to college. Is college right for you? We also explain, I have some kids that say, well, I want to go straight to work, or I want to go to technical school. I want to go to tech school. And we also explain that tech school is college. There's a big misconception there with some of our students. So we feel like that's really important. Other things that we talk about in our senior guidance session is taking the ACT again. And then, of course, filling out college applications. And we encourage our students to fill out anywhere from 3 to 5, just their top schools. And like someone said earlier, we always encourage students to apply for community college as well as a backup plan, because we stress that life happens, and sometimes we need that beginning step of just starting at the local community college before they go on to the 4-year university. One thing that we use in our system, we use Schoology. If you'll click on that link right there, I want to show you, this is the platform that we use to kind of help guide our students throughout the year. So in this, at the end of my slides, I do have a QR code where you should be able to click and see images of all the things that I put in this presentation. But that's where we house different folders, anywhere between, like, we'll have a scholarship folder. So any scholarships that we learn about, we put it in there, and we also list the deadlines. So it helps keep our students on track with applying for scholarships. Other things like senior parent meeting, we'll put information in there that the students can share with their parents. We do leadership opportunities in there as well. With our senior parent meeting, okay, the presentation that we do with our seniors in the library, the very next week we invite our parents in for a senior parent meeting, and we present that exact same presentation to our parents. The parents love this meeting. This is also where I begin the stages of talking with parents about FAFSA. You'll see in a minute, I don't start with the parent side of FAFSA. And that is when I tell parents to wait. Don't do it. Basically, create your account if you don't already have one, or if you have one from past use, maybe they're on FAFSA, figure out your username and your login. But I encourage my parents to let the students start the FAFSA process. And then another thing that I do is I go into each senior classroom. Usually I pick my government economics teachers, and I do a scholarship resume. And this is all in September that I do this. If you can click, I do a 9th grade through 12th grade tracker. And this is something I start with my 9th graders. I hope this link will work. It's not going to work with any of it. But it is a Google sheet, and it has tabs on it. And this is where my students are able to track all of their community service and leadership activities that they start with in the 9th grade. So the clubs, the activities, the sports, all the things. And I have found that this is such a successful tool for my students, not only creating resumes, but when they start applying for college. And I'll tell you, the application that made me create this is when I was helping my students apply to the University of Alabama. Because in that application, I'm sure you all know, you're not only applying for admissions, but you're applying for scholarships as well. And so having this built already for my students just to pull up, and they know exactly how many hours that of community service that they've participated in throughout their high school career, is such a stress reliever, I feel like, for the student. And then, of course, we do a college fair. Our local community college, Northeast Alabama Community College, they host our college fair. And we'll try one more time, but I created a sheet of basically what to ask. So when my students go to this fair, as soon as they load the bus, each one of the teachers that are on the bus as the chaperone, they pass out a worksheet, and it basically has questions on there of things that our students can ask the different colleges while they're at the fair. Like, what is the admission process? Is there an application fee? What's the minimum ACT score? Do I have to live on campus? So again, we've taught our students this throughout our senior guidance prep month, pretty much, but it gives our students, having this sheet, the confidence to go in and ask questions at the college fair where they're truly understanding the whole process. And then, of course, in October, we do College Application Week. We invite different colleges to come each day. I send out a schedule so that the students know exactly which colleges and what time frame that they're going to be in there. We set up in our library to do this. And as students apply, I wish my pictures would work or my links would work, but we have different signs that our students will hold, and I create a presentation that I will put up on the TVs in our hallways for the students to see. The kids love seeing their faces on the TVs throughout the year for the different activities that we do, but this has been a big success with our College Application Week. So, advice for increasing FAFSA completion. So my strategy, I guess, is instant gratification. And I honestly had to ask my daughter, who is currently a college student, when I got this question, I'm like, I don't really know what my strategy is, but she said, yes, Mom, it's instant gratification. You don't start out talking about college. You just say, FAFSA is a graduation requirement, and we're going to do it. And so when she told me that, I really started thinking about it. That is how I approach the FAFSA. Then once we get those offers back on Pell Grants and things like that, and the students can see I start out with this amount of money, that's when we start talking about their college opportunities. I also have what I call the 1% rule, because I have students that say, college is not for me. So my very next question to them is, what if you could go for free? Would you consider it? And if they tell me that there is a 1% chance that they would consider going to college, then I tell them, you're completing the FAFSA. This, again, gives them that encouragement, because the biggest worry with my students is, I might be a first generation. How am I going to pay for it? So with starting the FAFSA on the student side too, it takes out college. Like, we really don't even talk about college. I do explain the FAFSA process and the Pell Grant and all the things, work study programs, but I feel like that is the best way to start it with my students. If you'll click again. And then, of course, the FAFSA deadline, because the students always say, well, when do I have to have this done? I set my own deadline. I kind of create a sense of urgency when I'm encouraging my students or doing the FAFSA with my students. So I start the process with my seniors. I do not let the parents start. Whichever classroom that I'm going into, so government and economics is usually where I go. I have the teacher assign homework the night before, where the seniors have to learn their social. And they also have to collect a parent email. And then once they do that, the student and I go in step by step in the classroom. We create FSAIDs. Once the student creates their FSAID, if you don't do this, this is a game changer. We have the students create a contact in their phone with their username and their password for their FSAID. A lot of kids want to just take a screenshot. A lot want to put it in a note, but I feel like as you change phones, you lose some of those screenshots, you lose some of those notes, but those contacts in their phone, they don't lose. And we also encourage our parents to do that as well. But once we get that created, I actually start the process and go step by step, helping each one of them create or start the FAFSA for themselves and invite the parent. Another thing that I do, I invite Northeast Alabama Community College, the financial aid department, to come, and I host a parent night. I do that in our library. We've had great success with that. My community college has a very valuable resource for me. They have someone that can translate. So if there's ever that barrier there, and a lot of my non-English speaking parents are very nervous about the FAFSA process, this is a huge resource for me. And we've been doing this for several years. But there have been times, like my parent session, I might have it scheduled from 5 to 7, and I may not leave our school library until 8:30 that night because I have that many parents show up. And then advice on increasing FAFSA: share your story with your students. So I do currently have a daughter in college, and I do speak a whole lot about her living off campus and expenses and how she applied and did she get scholarships? How are we paying for these things? I do share a lot of my personal story with my students. And I think that by me doing that, it really does open the door, and my students feel comfortable talking to me about it. And even when they come one-on-one, they'll ask me, how did your daughter do this? I remember you telling me in class that she applied for this. How can you give me ideas on, the process? And then helping them keep up with deadlines is another thing. I hope when you scan my QR code that it will open up all these links, because I think you'll enjoy looking at each one of them.
I dropped it in the chat as well, Lee, so folks can click that link in the chat.
Thank you. We do a Google Sheet, and I update it every year, and it has some of our most commonly applied colleges. It has links to their scholarship applications. I'll usually do a snip from their website where it'll say, if you have this ACT score, you're eligible for this academic scholarship. We also, over at the left, it gives a box that shows the overall cost of a 4-year degree at that college. And this is another tactic, I guess, that I use in applying for FAFSA and the scholarships, because when they see those big numbers that are over $100,000. I mean, one of the questions I say when I bring up this sheet is, all right, $130,000 to go to school at XYZ. Who's got that laying around? Can you write a check for it? Raise your hand. And, of course, no one's raising their hand. But this is why I encourage them, or what I used to encourage them to apply. And then I also have another handout. So once we complete all the FAFSAs, the scholarship application window closes for most of the colleges. Then I go back in and I have a worksheet, and I've linked it here as well, of what does college really cost. So that's where we pull that deadline sheet that I was just talking about. And I say, okay, this is my number. And then below, these are my scholarship offers that I've received so far. And we do the math there, subtracting. This is how much I'm receiving in a Pell Grant. How much do I have to go? And I encourage my students to go home and talk about those numbers with their parents, because I do feel like at the end of the year, maybe April, May for sure, I have a lot of kids that they think they're going straight 4-year all the way. And then once they realize, oh, I forgot to have that conversation with my parents about that big number, then we have to revert back to, okay, well, you have a full Pell Grant. This is going to cover a whole year at the community college. Would you consider starting there before you transfer to that dream school of, the 4 years? And then, of course, lastly, scheduling appointments. I do throughout the year meet with my parents and my students. I always have available office hours, to help parents complete their portion of the FAFSA.
Thank you, Lee, for sharing. Manisha, our screen somehow now is a little bit cut off at the bottom. I don't want anyone's information in the next slides to get cut. But thank you so much, Lee, for all the practical resources. For everyone who's still on, I did include a link to the Google Drive where all of those resources that Lee was referencing are. They're really helpful, practical tools. So thank you for sharing those, Lee. Give us one moment and we'll get back to our slides. If you are only able to stay on today until noon, make sure to check out our follow-up email with a link to our end of year survey so that you can get your professional development credit. I know we're running a little bit over today, so I appreciate your patience, and just look for the follow-up email. But I would now like to welcome our MVP for large schools, Hewitt Trussville High School out of Trussville City Schools. All yours.
Hi, thank you. Okay, yeah, my name is Lisa Smith, and I'm the career coach at Hewitt-Trussville High School. For this school year, Hewitt-Trussville High School had just under 1,600 students with 348 seniors in the class of 2026. For us, this is a pretty small senior class. So at graduation practice this year, we asked seniors to complete a questionnaire about their post-secondary plan so that we could have the most up-to-date information on record. So about 87% reported plans to attend a 2-year or a 4-year college or university, while others indicated plans to enter the workforce, military, trade programs, or other training opportunities. And because most of our students are college bound, FAFSA completion is an important part of our post-secondary initiatives at Hewitt. The success of these initiatives really depended on collaboration, and that's what my question today is all about. But it depended on collaboration between multiple supportive roles, including our counseling department, administrators, community partners, parents, and myself as a career coach. So I have served as a career coach at Hewitt-Trussville High School since September of 2022. And the one thing that I've learned quickly in my career is that every community communicates differently. At Hewitt, parents are extremely engaged. And so we knew parent communication would be one of the most important parts of our FAFSA strategy. This is a screenshot from a senior parent newsletter that we sent out. Our counseling department worked closely together throughout the year. Our senior counselor and I regularly communicated with families. We answered FAFSA questions and monitored student completion progress. I checked the AIC FAFSA completion portal and monitored student completion still needed to support for students who still needed the support or reminders. To communicate with families, we primarily use the Blackboard email system. Early in the school year, I sent monthly FAFSA reminders and information to students, and as deadlines approached, communication became more frequent. Each time we sent emails, we noticed an increase in FAFSA completions and an increase in questions from families, which showed us that parents were engaging with the information. So our school administration was also supportive in helping us keep FAFSA completion visible throughout the year and encouraging participation in events and communication efforts. This is a screenshot of some Schoology posts that our senior administrator approved. One of the most valuable partnerships we feel like we have, though, is with Alabama Possible. They provide presentations, videos, and the resources that are easy for us to share with our families, and our families tell us they're easy to understand, easy to access. We shared many of these resources through emails and newsletters, and they helped families feel more comfortable navigating the FAFSA process. Alabama Possible will also lead some FAFSA sessions during our upcoming Parent Night for the class of 2027. So thank you. We appreciate your partnership so much. In addition to emails and newsletters, we collaborate through social media and school communication platforms like Schoology. But here we used Facebook and Instagram to share reminders about FAFSA completion, the FSA ID creation, local FAFSA help opportunities like Jeff State's preview nights, and we also focused on providing direct support for families. I offered face-to-face communication for our parents who needed assistance, and we worked to connect families with community experts whenever possible. So overall, our FAFSA success came from consistent communication and strong collaboration among school staff, parents, and community partners. We were very intentional about keeping FAFSA and post-secondary planning visible throughout the year, and I believe that teamwork played a major role in our Huskies' success. Thank you so much for allowing me to share about Hewitt-Trussville's FAFSA and post-secondary initiatives.
Thank you, Lisa, and thank you for showing everything y'all do to communicate to your families. And I think it's also evident that you just have a great line of communication throughout your whole team as well. So congratulations. I would now like to bring on our final award winner, our MVP for extra large schools, Fairhope High School in Baldwin County. All yours.
Hi, everyone. My name is Gabrielle Massey, and I'm the career coach at Fairhope High School. So I'm not going to talk for a long time because I feel like I'm going to be repeating a lot of the things we've kind of already heard, because we all kind of use what works for our school. So some quick data, and I have last year's data up here, so you can see that too. We started out with 396 seniors this year. We had 101 waivers that were given out, and so we ended up with about 75% FAFSA completion. This was a very large senior class for us. Normally we average about 350, 360 seniors. And I did the numbers really quick from our numbers for like who went to college, 2-year, all that good stuff. So we had 240 students go to a 4-year institution and 73 go into a 2-year vocational school. So that ended up being about 79% of students that ended up going to college in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And this definitely contributes to students having a very going to college mindset. So this is kind of our timeline of things that we do throughout the year. So we always do a rising senior parent meeting in the spring. So our current juniors and their parents have already had a senior parent meeting before we get out of school for the next school year. And this kind of sets them up for the summer. And I really feel like this is super important. We talk about FAFSA, we talk about scholarships, we talk about free app week, all the things they're going to need to know. And I really feel like this connects all of those dots of what we want to stick in our seniors and our senior parents' head when we get to August. So our counselors all go into senior classrooms in August, and they tell them about all the things we need to know for senior year, kind of a recap of that parent meeting, building the FSAID in September, and then coming back in and actually offering that FAFSA help beginning October 1st. And this year, we kind of coupled free application week with completing the FAFSA. So we gave students an opportunity to complete their portion of the FAFSA with us if they didn't get that opportunity, if they haven't gotten that opportunity yet. So that kind of gave them a way to get that part completed. I notice a lot that when the student feels confident in it, they can go home and tell their parents. So that's really important too, is being able to have those parents kind of be engaged and know what's going on. So if you prepare your students to go home and say, hey mom, this is kind of what we need to do, those parents are going to more so to act on it. We did tell them that we need to have this done before we leave for Christmas break. And so one thing that I did hear a lot, I heard kids in the hallway like, oh my God, that FAFSA is due like before we leave for Christmas break. And that is 100%. That's what we like to hear. And so we did offer an incentive that I didn't necessarily put on here, but any student who completed their FAFSA before December 1st, we actually took them on a bowling trip. And so we've kind of already started marketing that to our juniors that are going to be seniors, that if they complete their FAFSA before a certain deadline, we're going to take them somewhere and do something fun. We do not throw out that waiver as an option until I'm actually meeting with students one-on-one and asking them, what are your plans? What is it that you're going to do? And so once I've kind of determined, okay, I know the student is going into the military without a doubt, then that's when we give them the waiver. We don't just hand it out for them to be able to get it. And it's not really something like you kind of got to ask to get it. It's not something you're just going to be given automatically because your FAFSA is not done. So we give them every ample opportunity to complete that. So from about January to April, we're pulling students individually. In January, we hosted office hours for parents and students. And we did 2 days of office hours. One was our regular school day. And then one day we had extended hours into 7 o'clock. And so that was a way that we kind of got those parents involved in helping them complete it. The FAFSA is so much easier this year, and that is really something that I think has helped a lot of people really do this FAFSA completion. What tools or platforms did you find most effective? Parent Square was obviously super helpful. It's our new texting platform that links with PowerSchool directly. And so we use this for all of our communications for FAFSA. And I really feel like this was helpful because it sent a text to their phone and it sent them an email when they got something. The parent and student got what they needed. So it was really essential for us keeping up those communications. And they're able to, one thing I like about Parent Square is you can title it and it says FAFSA completion or would need to complete FAFSA for graduation. So they can see if it's something that involves them or not by the subject line. And they don't necessarily have to read through tens of thousands of posts to find what they're looking for. And then Google Docs, a good live doc with our counselor, with all of our counselors, myself and our registrar, so we could all keep track of who needed to complete their FAFSA. And then hands-on, we meet with students and individually. I do use pen and paper and I kind of print rosters and I go econ classes, government econ classes, and meet with those students individually and take my notes that way. So we're not super fancy with a lot of stuff. We kind of keep it basic, and we do have a going to college community and atmosphere at our school, so that definitely helps us. But just doing the same things that we always do and staying on our kids, and they know that we're looking for that FAFSA and that they're not going to get out of not doing it one way or the other. And we tell them that in like from day one, from when we've had our parent meeting at the beginning of the year and when we come back in August.
Thank you so much for sharing. It's very evident that all of y'all are super hands-on with your students. So we just thank you for everything you're putting into this. I want to give a quick plug for our Most Improved Award winners. They will be presenting with us during next year's professional development webinars. So plan to join us for those next fall. But I'm now going to turn it over to Dr. Mack to talk about some upcoming training.
So these are a few trainings that the State Department is offering. We have our AETC, which is our technology conference. It will be held in Huntsville. And then, of course, Mega Conference and our summer conference, Career Tech Conference. Those will be held in Mobile. We're planning to offer a session on the new counseling plan at Mega Conference for those that are planning to attend. We also have our New School Counselor Academy. We hope that it will be held sometime in September. We have not narrowed down the exact date, but be on the lookout for announcements as well as other information on our new school counseling plan, the rollout session. And then we also have critical issues sponsored by the Alabama School Counseling Association, and then our fall conference sponsored by the Alabama Counseling Association.
Awesome, thank you. And we'll send out the slides so that y'all have all of the links for these upcoming events. I want to take a quick moment. I'm putting this link in the chat as well to talk about registration for next year's campaign. So it's already open. We hope you'll get your school signed up for the 2026-27 Alabama Goes to College campaign. As a reminder, only one representative from each school needs to complete this form. So if you wouldn't mind, please get with your team and talk about who's going to be the person to fill out that form. There's also a spreadsheet for you to check if your school is already registered. And then, as we mentioned, we would love to invite you to apply to be a member of the 2026-27 Educator Advisory Council. It's awesome if you're super involved in post-secondary planning on your team at your school and you want to be a part of a statewide movement to increase post-secondary access. So your expertise as an educator will be utilized to inform our programming, also to inform our advocacy. So we hope you see it as a really great leadership opportunity for you to bring what you're seeing on the ground to kind of the statewide level. I'll also drop a link to that application in the chat. Next, I want to launch a poll. We'd love to get your feedback. We are considering an in-person training opportunity and would love to know if you think you would be able to attend a training summit on Wednesday, September 9th of this upcoming year. This would give us a chance to look pretty in depth at the new FAFSA application. So we're considering a few different locations and would love your feedback. We would love if you could complete our end of year survey. It really does inform what we do the next year. So if you fill it out, you will receive a free t-shirt from us if you also complete your mailing address info. We would love to have this done by noon on Friday, June 5th. So if you are an educator in a school, it should probably take about 10-15 minutes. If you are an external partner that works in some way with our campaign, it should only take around 3 minutes if you're not a high school educator. So on the next slide, we have our PD information. So I'm going to drop both the survey link in the chat as well as how you can register for this event on PowerSchool to make sure that you get credit. So the course number is 333921, and the section number is 536694. We do need you to register in PowerSchool so that we can check that registration against your attendance here on Zoom. So please do that as soon as possible. I'm going to drop that information in the chat as well. All right, for any of our social workers, you can claim CEs for attending today's event by scanning the QR code. As a quick reminder, when you do scan the QR code and go to the form, please do not change the pre-selected response to the question that is there about event type. So I'll give a few moments for folks to get that QR code scanned. I think there is an issue with our survey links. So unfortunately, we'll just make sure everything's working in our follow-up email. I was noticing with the application link for the EAC, it wasn't working earlier as well. I apologize for that. But the form link will be fixed when we send out our follow-up email. As a thank you for spending time with us today, we do want to send you an Uber Eats voucher that will come via email, and you'll be able to use that over the next week. You should receive this voucher by the end of day tomorrow. So thanks again for your time. So we know many of y'all are heading off into the summer and might not be on campus. We're here year round, so feel free to share our help desk number. You can text or call at 334-316-6155. We're always here all summer to help your families. And then as we plan for the class of 2027, you're welcome to stay connected with us all summer. So you can reach us by that number that I just mentioned, or you can email us at algoestocollege@alabamapossible.org. I would now like to turn it over to our Executive Director, Chandra Scott, for some closing remarks.
Thanks, May. Well, first, I just want to congratulate all of our winners again. I mean, the partnership that we have with you all is just priceless. We thank you for your trust, and we thank you for being on the front line for all students across our state. I can say this is always an exciting event for me because I feel like we get to send you off into the summer in a celebratory fashion for celebrating all the work you've done, giving you the applause that you truly deserve. For all the hard work and the tireless hours that you provide to your students and your families throughout the year and helping them chart a post-secondary pathway. Not only do I want to congratulate you all and all the amazing work you've done, I want to take a moment to really applaud our small but mighty Alabama Possible team for being there and being so responsive to you all and the amazing work that they do in making sure they have tools and resources available for you and being responsive to all your questions and to the families that they just support throughout the year. None of these results would be possible without them being in partnership and walking alongside you and making sure that you have what you need. And so I'm just so thankful to be a part of a team that's just so wonderful and so amazing and so smart to be able to do all the amazing things that they do. I want to thank board members that were on today. I know a couple of them had to drop off, but I have to say I really appreciate board members who are so invested in this and supporting educators across our state. The governor's office was on here. Thank you so much for the governor's office for being invested in the future of our students and understanding that it's the counselors and the career coaches and CBOs in this post-secondary access space that really make this work happen, that really support students and their families in charting the pathway to upward mobility. And it is because of you that we have the amazing numbers that we were able to celebrate today, whether it's being 10th in the nation in FAFSA completion, having all the amazing inaugural year numbers for our Alabama Direct Admission. None of that is possible without you all. So I want to make sure that you understand that those numbers have your fingerprints all over them. And we're so grateful to you and the partnership you provide. Jamie said it great earlier, turning possibility into a plan. I mean, that's what you do every day. And we're grateful to your partnership and us shifting the narrative in our state from really talking about students being college ready to colleges being student ready. And thank you so much to Dr. Mack for your partnership and the support you provide Alabama Possible. We could not have access the way we do to high school counselors and career coaches without your support. So we just thank you every day for all the guidance you provide us and the work that we're doing together in charting post-secondary pathways for students across our state. all of the speakers today, all of our winners. It's just so much to celebrate in this event. Thank you for sticking with us over time. Again, that speaks volumes of your commitment to this work. And so I just want to again thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope every one of you have an amazing, restful, recuperative, deserving summer because as you know, we're looking for even better numbers in next year. And that means we need you at 100% ready to work hand in hand with your students and with your families across this great state. So again, we at Alabama Possible, we appreciate all you do. And just know, like May said, take your break, but we're not here to take a break. Be sure to share our contact information with your families as they continue to make decisions over the summer for their students and taking the post-secondary pathway. So again, we wish you all great success for next year and a restful summer. And thank you for joining us for the 2026 Celebration Day and Professional Development Workshop.